It's time for SideScrollers from ScrewAttack with your hosts, Stuttering Craig.
But part of the celebration is also playing Ultimate Party Challenge for the Wii and listen to the greatest hits from the early 1990s.
Chad.
Hey, Chad!
And Professional Jared.
Chad, go you guys!
And now, broadcasting from the World ScrewAttack headquarters in Dallas, Texas, it's the SideScrollers.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to SideScrollers at ScrewAttack.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey! I'm Stuttering Craig.
I'm Chad.
And I'm Professional Jared. No one's going to get that.
Welcome to Clap Central 2011. It is SideScrollers at ScrewAttack.com, the most entertaining 30 to 45 minutes of your video game week. Hello, everybody. How are you? Splendid. All right.
Great, Craig!
All right. Hey, everybody. We have so much stuff going on. First off, let's introduce Chad.
Hi.
And Jared.
Hey, how you doing? I'm
did
doing
that.
great.
We did
Yeah.
that
I've had a good
in the
weekend.
introduction.
Yeah, did you guys do anything special the past few days?
I've been solving a whole lot of crimes and putting people to jail and being a detective in LA Noire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that? I mean, we saw your VGR. I mean, is this a Game of the Year candidate? Because you really enjoyed it.
I don't know if I'd put it Game of the Year, just because there's still a lot of technical issues, and a lot of times the story and the cases kind of end before I'm pleased with them, but still really good.
It's kind of they put a nice little bow on them for you.
No, more so, all right, you're done.
Okay.
Like, I'm not entirely convinced he was the culprit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Intrigue, yes.
Well, wait. So that doesn't make any sense. So it wraps it up, even though you may not think it's right. So
Yeah, like, there are a couple of times where I had to basically get someone arrested, but I wasn't entirely sure he was the right guy.
Oh well, look good on you.
Pretty much.
Promotion.
I did, yeah.
okay,
But still
cool.
good.
Chad, what have you
Still
been playing?
recommended.
I've been playing a lot of WoW. But
That's cool.
and some
Yeah,
Mortal
that's
Kombat
real
and stuff.
cool.
Mainly I've been planning the wedding, because when this goes up, I get married in like 11 days.
Oh, snap.
You have this clock going down on your head. Every day you're like, 10 days, 5 days, whatever.
Dude, also I'll show you the picture. When I came home with this blackboard, and when it was 13 days, April had just wrote, "Your soul is mine in 13 days."
You have a good
I'm a lucky
fiance.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good. Sounds lucky.
She's funny because she's had your soul for years.
Mortal Kombat reference, come on.
That's great. All right, so hey, speaking of stuff, we have lots of stuff coming up on the site this
Good at
week.
relating
Smooth
things
as
to
butter.
things.
I make smooth transitions. Hey, if you didn't check out Retro Hunters on ScrewAttack, you got to go back and check out Retro Hunters. It's about a bunch of guys who go pick up retro games at cool things, and it actually had a pretty good debut.
Yeah.
If that
I like that
description
show a lot,
did
so.
made any sense at all. Also, clip of the week. We figured out why the world did not end this past weekend.
Because of us.
Maybe. I don't know. It was in the clip of the week. Also, ScrewAttack Wrestling, the Battle of the Skinny Men, which featured this man, Jared, squaring off against Ben and Nick in an epic battle. What was the...
The brawniest of the scrawniest.
Yes, the brawniest of the scrawniest, squaring off. And were you the brawniest of the scrawniest?
You'll have to watch and find out.
You can check out, you can find all the videos, the links to these videos.
I will say, though, that I was kicking some serious ass.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
unrealistically awesome.
Yeah.
Coming up later this week, we have a reboot or retro on, what is it?
Blaster Master and Blaster Master Overdrive for WiiWare, which is actually one I've been wanting to do for a while, because that game came out so under the radar that people didn't really know that it existed. And I finally got a chance to
I
go
had
back
no
and
idea.
play it. So,
Yeah, the new Blaster Master. It's,
which Blaster Master is one of my favorite NES games.
yeah, and you're right, it just came out and
Yeah.
slid right under there. Well, which I think you'll see, a lot of people think reboot or retro is about games that just came out, but not necessarily, because a lot of the reboots that come out have been out for a while, but nobody knows they're even out.
Yeah.
So we have to expose people to whether to pick up the old school or the new one. All right, so there you go. That is what's coming up on the site this week. But right now, it's time for my favorite segment. Your favorite segment. It's time for everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for
Hard News.
All the day's news from this past week. It's time for
Okay, as always on Hard News, I take some of the biggest stories of the previous week and we talk about them right now. Starting off with The PlayStation Network's back online.
Hooray!
Yay! And by the time this goes online, the PlayStation Store will also be online.
Ooh.
And as I previously reported, Sony's doing this welcome back campaign for pretty much any user of the PlayStation Network, where they are offering free games. And last week they finally said and detailed what those free games are going to be. For PlayStation 3, you can get Little Big Planet, Infamous, Dead Nation, Super Stardust, or Wipeout HD.
Anybody can get these.
Totally free.
Absolutely free.
Do they send them to you or do they download
I think they
them?
might be digital download. I'm
Sweet.
not 100% sure.
So how do you get them?
I don't know yet. Well, like I said, we're filming this before the PlayStation Network store goes online, so.
We're filming this? This isn't live?
What?
All right.
Does anyone else have any trouble connecting even after it's up? Like, I finally got my password reset after going through all that. And then now I was like, okay, finally, it's all reset, it's good to go. And it sat there saying logging in and it said there's a problem connecting. And I was just like,
I honestly haven't turned on my PlayStation 3 in months.
okay.
Nor have I.
But my question to you guys is, with these free games and all that, does this satisfy what you would expect for get like free items or?
Yes. Beyond,
Yes?
yes, beyond satisfying. I told you. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I said a few weeks ago, Sony doesn't owe anybody jack shit. They only owe the PlayStation Plus user stuff. It clearly states in their agreement
Yeah.
that it's a free service and can come down at any time, and it did. I'm not going to back down from that at all. I know people, it's funny because I was watching, and I think I made reference to this, or maybe you and I were talking about this, not on SideScrollers or something, but Michael Pachter, people give him a lot of shit,
Yeah.
right? Because he's like, oh, he's the guy who predicts stuff, and a lot of times he's wrong. But he predicts stuff and people listen to him, right? But they did this thing on GT with Pack Attack, right? And in this episode of Pack Attack, it was like an impromptu thing where he's talking about the PlayStation Network. And he made way too much sense for people to think he's right.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my gosh. So the logic behind it, and I don't know if I mentioned this in SideScrollers.
Yeah, I think you did last week
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the building analogy.
Yeah, being broken down. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But for what they're offering, I mean, it's like $100-something worth of free stuff. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
For a month? Seriously? For a month of you not being able to play Mortal Kombat online? I realize that
I had my Xbox to hold me over. So it was all
I mean,
good.
I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but go outside. Like seriously.
Whoa!
I mean,
Don't
look,
get crazy now.
we all love gaming here. We all love gaming, and if gaming is so important to you that you need $100-something for your PS3, online service to be taken down for a month, really? I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, there are other things. I love gaming as much as everybody, but you need hobbies outside of gaming. You need to be a balanced person.
I will say one of the best things about this whole deal is that the games that they're offering are good games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like impressively
They're
good
smart.
games.
They're
Yeah.
smart in that they're offering the franchise they want to get out there, Little Big Planet.
Yep.
Infamous, another franchise looking to build on. So,
Now, like almost immediately when the details went out, people started complaining. A small few saying, "What the heck is this crap? Where's my most recent $50 to $60 game? Why am I getting this garbage?"
You're still getting a free game.
Yeah, I mean,
which you shouldn't be getting in the first
Yeah.
place.
yeah, I mean, now personally, I already own Little Big Planet and Infamous. So when I see these titles, oh, okay, well, that's cool, I already have them. But things like Dead Nation or even Super Stardust, I would totally get those. But I guess that really comes down to is major props to Sony for actually offering good games and following through on it, and actually, I consider to be a heck of a deal.
I think it's a phenomenal deal. And, like I said this before, we've given Sony so much crap in the past, just about, especially when the PlayStation 3 first launched, their lack of exclusives and such. But, that was 5 years ago, 4 years ago now. And the fact, they are going out of their way to make sure that people are happy, even though they didn't. I mean, they took down the service, but only after it was hacked by somebody else. By group. It's like I said before. Say it again. If Sony can get hacked, anybody can get hacked. So.
All right, next story. Craig, you
Yes?
and I are 3DS owners. Have you been playing it a whole lot?
No, actually, I just turned it on for the first time a couple days ago. Actually, when we were in Vegas last month, I came back and it lost charge, and I didn't take the charger out of my thing, so I just plugged it in and charged it for the first time a couple days ago, and it was over a month before doing the last time.
Yeah,
I
I've had it
on.
in my laptop bag just so I could street pass with
pass.
you and Ben all here, but it's lost its charge and I just haven't really took the effort to recharge it.
which is sad.
But you know,
Someday there'll be
Yeah,
games.
like the newest thing that I really wanted to play on it was the Mega Man Legends 3 Prologue, which is going to launch with the eShop channel on June 7th, and that's been delayed.
Yeah.
Mega Man Legends 3 Prologue, which was going to be the demo/prototype of the new Mega Man Legends game, it's going to cost like $2.
See if people
Was
want
supposed to launch with the eShop as like the premier title for the eShop, and it's been delayed off of that.
Okay, so
it. That sucks.
that does suck, but I think the thing that's being flossed over here is that you're paying for a demo. I'm sorry, it's $2, but you're paying to play a game that's not even finished. I don't know. We hit this thing with Dead Rising a while back, you know, and whether that was a paid demo or a prologue or whatever it was, but I would not do it. Like we talked about this a few weeks back, where it was like, would it be paid or would it not be paid? I will not download this because I have to pay for it. A demo's job is supposed to get you interested in a game, you know, and I don't know if Mega Man Legends is that huge of a series to where people would be willing to pay money to play a demo of a game.
Well, on the flip side, it's really not that big of a series, and I think that's why they want to see how many people are willing to pay for it to see if it actually could succeed in the market. But going back to that Dead Rising thing, Capcom has already stated before that they want to do this new business model pretty much, where demos and stuff that come out for some of their bigger franchises are basically going to be like snippets of the gameplay or like a prologue or whatever, but not the actual game. That still gives people idea of the gameplay, and I think they're following through on that model with Mega Man Legends 3 Prologue, because for the longest time it's called Prototype. Now it's called Prologue. So I wonder if it actually is like something completely different than what the original game is going to be, because from what I've seen in the screenshots, you're not even playing as Mega Man. You're some guy.
Well, I'll give them this. I mean, at least they're not going to put out crap if you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're going to pay $2 for it, you got to at least feel like you got your $2 worth.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, all the magazines used to send out, you know, like the demo discs and stuff. We were talking about that in the magazine segment the other day. And like, that's when it used to cost them so much money just to get their demos out, because they'd have to produce a disc, you know, physically and get it sent out and all that stuff. Now it costs them like nothing. I mean, of course, production costs of making the game.
Server
and stuff.
costs, things like that.
Yeah, right. But like, it's gonna be way cheaper.
Sure.
Now, and then now they're starting to charge for all this stuff, you know?
Agreed. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
They found a way to get free money.
The idea behind a demo, I've always felt, is that it's supposed to entice you to want to buy the game, and it's supposed to bring in a larger audience. You know, if it's free, more people are going to download it. Yeah, it's catch-22. I understand that it's kind of okay, let's wait and see what happens, and if there's a big enough demand, then we'll mass produce it. But what if there's not? Then you just pay $2 for a game demo for a game that never even happens. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. But I don't know. Back to the 3DS. Here's a question for you: is the 3DS a flop so far?
It's just a new console,
I wouldn't consider it a flop because it has sold well. It's died down considerably after the initial, like, you know, early adopters and all that. But it was a system that launched too early because it just didn't have the games prepared for it.
Yeah, for sure. The lack of, I mean, up until now, the 3DS is incredibly cool,
Yeah,
right? It's
absolutely.
incredibly cool technology, but like, what was the last game you actually played on it?
Street Fighter 4 while we were in Vegas.
Yeah, which was a month ago.
Unless you
know
want
what
to
I
count
mean?
that stupid Find Me dungeon thing with the Street
Yeah,
Fighter.
and I'm still waiting for somebody with a white T-shirt to come along so I can brighten up my dark area. But anyways, I'm just kind of skeptical. I embrace the 3DS with open arms, but I'm kind of skeptical of it now, just because there is such a lack of everything with it.
Yeah, but
the lack of updates, the lack of titles, the whole shebang.
To be fair, the original DS had the same issue when that first came out. Like that when I came out, like it had like Mario 64, which is like, okay, cool. That, like Zelda Ocarina of Time, that's a game I already played. Sure, it looks a little bit nicer, but it wasn't like the first real game that I really wanted to play for. It wasn't until Castlevania: Dawn of Sorrow, the September after released, which is like 9 months later.
Here's the big difference between the original. Did you want to say something?
It's all good.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm good. Keep going.
Here's the big difference between the 3DS and the DS. The iPhone exists, and nowadays, I was saying this for six months ago. I was like, "There's no way the 3DS won't succeed because people use their DSs as babysitters, right?" Well, their iPhones are way cheaper, and now they're giving their kids. Like I saw with my cousin, my 3-year-old cousin is walking around with an iPad playing
that's
games,
ridiculous,
You know,
man.
like
3-year-old with an iPad.
well, well, it's not his, but it's
Still.
you know, but he's playing like stuff to teach him how to do, you know, write letters and things like that. You know, they're very basic educational games, but he's learning how to play it. And you know what? That iPad was still cheaper in the long run, well, in terms of the games and such. You know, download an app for 99 cents, $2, $3, whatever. Still cheaper than going out and buying a $50, $40 game on top of a $250 console.
Yeah, well, I want to know how many kids have cell phones nowadays. Because, you know, back, I mean,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, like, it freaks me
Oh
out. Like,
my
I
gosh,
can
yeah.
imagine, like, you know, like middle school kids. That seems like way too young. Yet you see, like I've driven by, you know, and you see, like, just a bunch of kids just sitting out there, like,
I
playing
was
on their phones.
driving home from work last week and pulling into the apartment complex, and there's like a group of kids out front, and one of the little girls had a cell phone just texting away. And I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me?
Dude, kids are gonna have no
Who are you even
attention
texting?
span.
No
Yeah.
attention span and no ability to communicate. That's the bigger thing that I'm scared of.
That's an entirely different subject. All right, next story. Conduit 2 came out a little bit ago, and
Yes.
our own Ben had reviewed the game, and not very positively.
Right.
Well, he wasn't the only person to give it a positive review, or not a negative review, I should say. Joystick writer T. Michael Murdoch reviewed Conduit 2 over on joystick.com and gave it 1 out of 5 stars, and he basically said this
Yikes.
game is not good. Well, he is also a fantasy novelist. Like, he writes fantasy books, and he had one that just came out, and it was just about to go on for pre-order on Amazon.com. High Voltage, the developer behind Conduit 2, found out about this, and an internal email from like the entire company got out to the press that says, Michael was kind enough to recently provide us with a Conduit 2 review. And so in turn, you should all feel liberty to, of course, read it first and then return the favor by writing a review for his book.
Interesting.
How petty is that?
So they're
That's
basically
awesome.
saying he didn't like our game, so we shouldn't like his book, and we're going to Amazon bomb his book.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Hey, you know what?
That's so
Look,
ridiculous.
look, ultimately, that is so petty and it's so ridiculous.
This is one of the most immature things I've ever
I
heard in my
know,
entire
Yes,
life.
it is. But you know what? He writes this stuff and it affects the way thousands of people think based off his review.
Yeah.
Right? And let's be honest, people probably aren't going to be looking for his book at the same pace as they're looking for, you know, Prototype 2 or whatever.
Conduit
or
2.
Conduit 2. Right? They're not going to be looking at the exact same, you know, it's not, people don't go search out this guy's book like they would a Wii game.
They're
or
gonna
whatever.
more now, though. This
Well,
gets
yeah,
links, and now
if
everybody's
anything,
gonna
it's
look
gonna-
up this book.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to provide better promotion for him. So,
That's awesome.
you know, great.
If anything, I just lost a whole lot of respect for High Voltage.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he does say you should at least try to read the book first, which I hope they read the book and then they realize, oh, damn, it's really good.
Okay, well, question. Was this like something that the entire, like, sent down from the president? Or was this something that just somebody casually wrote? Because there's a big difference if somebody was
That's
like,
true.
if somebody just around the office is like, well, this guy bombed our thing, but you know what? It'd be funny if we all bombed his thing, you know?
The email came
Some
from
intern.
the Conduit 2 art director, Matt Corso. So maybe not like the president or super high up, but
Yeah, I don't know. It's not even that. Art director, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty up there, man.
Yeah, it is, I guess. I can still see it as kind of like a joking manner, you know?
Yeah.
Ha ha ha, you know, whatever, but with a little bit of seriousness behind it. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm giving too much of the benefit of the doubt. So,
Kinda.
Yeah, whatever.
we'll give them that benefit of the doubt and just assume that they're good people.
Yeah, I try to do that with everybody,
All right,
except for Chad
there we go. That's hard news.
and Jared. All right.
Damn it.
Huh? Oh, okay. Hey, so guess what? It's time for the middle segment.
Sweet.
But before we do, we have a super, mega, huge announcement. Jared, talk.
So, if you've watched some of the more recent episodes of Hard News, specifically on Fridays, you've noticed a brand new segment called The Axe Attacks. The Axe Attacks is a segment coming from the guys over at epicbattleaxe.com, including Daniel Kaiser, Tony Grice, and Brent Adams, who do this awesome podcast who do brilliant video game discussion about the topics of today. And I like their stuff so much, I said, hey man, you want to do some segments on Hard News? And they said, yes, absolutely, and they were right on that. Well, the segments have been doing really well. A lot of people are responding very positively. That's so positive that we are announcing a full-on cooperation/collaboration with epicbattleaxe.com.
The world is exploding.
You add some effects, so there's like fire and shit coming out of your hands.
Jared, make that happen.
Okay, fire.
All right.
More shit for Jared to do.
So what can you expect? Well, hard news is going to be over on epicbattleaxe.com every day, so it's going to be showcased over there as well. The Axe Attacks is going to continue on, and we're going to do. We're also going to showcase some Epic Battle Axe content on ScrewAttack every week, where we'll have a little post for them letting you know what you can see over on their site and vice versa.
Yes.
And of course, any sort of event or anything like that where Epic Battle Axe and ScrewAttack are out together, you can expect some partnership and some videos together and crossovers and things like that.
Fun interests.
Yeah, man. I guess the whole idea is that it's just two of your favorite sites coming together
Yeah.
to kick a lot of internet ass. So that's the whole idea.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You know, I think we're all really excited about it. We know that DK and the crew over there, they're pretty stoked about it too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah, we're ready to go. So if you
Really
guys are
cool stuff.
excited, give this video a thumbs up. It would really help us out. Let us your favorites. No. Did you guys see that video?
That Call of Duty video.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I know I suck. If you think I suck, give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
If you hate me, you should subscribe.
You've never been killed in this game.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
All right.
And
Anyway,
favorites really help us out. Anyways, yeah, so we're really excited about it. We can't wait to, we're joining forces with the EBA guys, and maybe you'll see some stuff happening at E3 this year. So it's gonna be great.
cool stuff all around.
All right, so now let's move on to the middle segment.
Which means bringing out the topic wheel. So daintily.
We really need to add some rhinestones or something to this.
What?
Just some sort of like pizzazz.
Those like sticky jewels.
We gotta up
like
the game. What to say?
DLC.
DLC
Screw it. It's still DLC.
from G1
You're
Kiristofa.
cheating. Stop cheating.
Rare! Oh, rare!
Are you kidding? Why do we even have a wheel?
I don't know, because he exploits the hell out of it. You're the one who wanted the wheel. You betray its integrity.
I didn't even see what. Okay, DLC,
Okay.
whatever.
You didn't even
Do you
see
want
it.
DLC or rare? Make your choice.
What'd it land on?
All right, DLC from G1 Kiristofa. DLC is a major part of video games nowadays, and what he wants to know are our opinions on DLC as a whole. What should DLC consist of? What do we expect from DLC? What makes it good or bad? We already touched up on a little bit about the whole like paid demo thing. But let's look at it from the perspective of it as add-on content the game's already out.
I think it's a very, very awesome tool that, I mean, could potentially be used very awesome. If we don't have to pay for it, is what I'm trying to get around. I know.
How about this?
I'll never have it.
Let's start.
I know.
Let's start with good examples of DLC.
Let's start even further back than that.
Further back? Okay.
Yes, because when ScrewAttack first started, DLC was just starting to come out, and there was so much friction with it. It was like, DLC, why do I? And I think I still kind of maintain this in that, why do I need to pay for more of the game when I bought the game to begin with? I liked when I could just buy the game and get the full game, right? And there was so much friction behind the idea of DLC when it started. And now it's like, oh, it's downloadable content. And if you don't get more downloadable content for your game, people are pissed. And if it's not high quality content, people get so mad at it. It's just amazing to see how over the span of just 5 short years, how it's become accepted. And sometimes you just gotta walk through the fire a little bit to get to the being accepted a little bit. And it's just amazing to see how that's kind of turned a little bit. But what?
I was gonna say, it can really extend the life of games though, which is pretty awesome. Like I know, just for map packs in general, like just like Call of Duty. I know they've been throwing out map packs like left and right, but just one map pack can extend your play for a long time. So
Yeah.
Even the Halo series has a crap ton
That's
of
true.
map packs.
Yeah, good examples. I know Call of Duty and Halo, the map packs, I think they get a lot of slack, but I think they, like you said, I think they're great examples of, downloadable content. Look, they're $15, you're getting...
I think that's way too expensive for them.
I agree.
It is what it is. I think people will pay it, so that's what the market
Of course
says.
they'll pay it. They know they can get away with that.
Okay, you're right, but you know what? People will still pay it. If people don't buy it, guess what? They'll lower the price.
That'll never happen.
You're right. But the market...
We'll just make more maps.
Look,
Like, maybe it was the maps.
Once again, these people are way smarter than us. They have all this market research that says the going rate for DLC for 5 maps is $15, $3 a map. And you know what? People will pay it. And you know what? 2 million people did.
I just want to say that I've never bought a map pack for any Call of Duty or Halo game.
I like to say I never have either.
That's because we have kind of unique
Yeah,
circumstances.
because they send them to us.
Okay, I would like to clarify, I never got an extended map pack for any Call of Duty game.
Well,
Oh, well.
there's some good stuff out there. In terms of Bad DLC. I think what you're seeing with Capcom right now, it's not so much DLC, but it's the Street Fighter to Super Street Fighter, the Super Street Fighter arcade.
The remakes and all that.
Yeah, like in the costumes and such, really? I don't know.
Yeah, the costumes are lame.
Well,
They used to be like a great part of like fighting games and just games in general was to go through and do all the crap to unlock all the different costumes and stuff like that. And now you don't get that. It's just well, I mean, you get a little bit of the unlockable costumes, but it's just usually color change, but not like an alternate.
Pay
set.
$3 to get
and
sunglasses.
Exactly.
look, I understand that there's definitely a market for people who want to support games further. I get that, and that's totally fine. But I just think that there needs to be a value behind it. And like you said, paying $3 for sunglasses or the Femme Fatale hack from Street Fighter 4 with the costumes and such, that's not worth it to me. It's like if I'm going to be paying that money, I want to get something of value out of that. And while yes, there are people that feel that is tremendous value because they can kick your ass with Camia that has no clothes on, then okay, But to me, that's not worth it.
I think the worst kind of DLC, which we can all agree on, is the DLC that's on the disc.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And
of course.
And Capcom happens to be the worst proprietor of this, where it's Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where Jill and Shuma Gorath are already on the disc. Even Mortal Kombat, with all the different costumes already being on the disc. At that point, all you're doing is paying money to unlock it. Why even make it DLC at that point? Now, that's just whoring out the game.
Is there
really.
DLC? Has there been DLC for Mortal Kombat yet?
Yeah, like they had several different pre-order locations where you get different costumes.
Oh, yeah.
Classic costumes for Scorpion, Sub-Zero,
Yeah.
Reptile, Ermac,
The Scorpion Fatality.
Katana, Melina.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Melina was
Yeah.
Walmart.
And I've seen people like selling these
Okay.
cards on eBay for like $50.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and
Oh.
they're like you can see them in the game. Like if you do the classic tournament mode or whatever, you can see the original costumes, so you know they're there on the disc.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you on that. I think the best kind of DLC is obviously the free DLC, and like the kind of DLC that Mortal Kombat will be providing with like Scarlet.
For the 360
Yeah,
owners,
for the
yeah.
360 version. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's going to be great, and I know that some people are ragging on that, but like, how can you rag on free?
Other great free DLC, anything from Valve, pretty much released for the PC versions for like Left 4 Dead or Portal 2, all free. All that's completely amazing there. Witcher 2 is going to be completely free DLC for all their upcoming content. Some other ones, I'm sure.
Well, the thing is, I think that it's amazing that that a company like Valve is continuing to support their game, even though people have already bought the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, even up until kind of the aughts, the 2000 time period started, and the internet started really coming into play in terms of, when the Dreamcast came out, people started using online play, then the idea of DLC came about. The idea was, prior to that, was you finish a game and it's done. And now it's, you finish a game and we're going to keep the small team on it, and the cost of keeping that team on the game far outweighs the cost, or the DLC you'll make outweighs the cost of keeping the team on the game. So, I think that's really interesting, especially with Valve, where they're not expecting you to pay anything, and the idea is that they're offering more content, so hopefully people
You just
will
enjoy
be,
the game more. You continue playing their game.
Well, for the existing users, but the idea is to bring in new
Bring in new.
people. So
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Is there any particular DLC that you guys have downloaded before? Do you think this is great? Everyone should get this, or get this?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, I know that's like kind of shuts the door on what you asked.
Well, well, yeah, I guess I was setting myself up for this, but whatever. A fantastic DLC that has been done that you have to pay for, but totally worth it, was all the DLC done for Mass Effect 2, which you got a complete game. You got a full complete game, phenomenal game, and the DLC extends the game beyond that. The layer of the Shadow Broker continues on this, like the whole subplot of the Shadow Broker, where it was awesome. Kasumi kind of sucked. Like, it could have been so much cooler, it just felt half-assed. But then, like, they had the Arrival DLC, which deliberately sets up the plot for Mass Effect 3. Fantastic. Like, that's how it should be done. You already got a full game, and now this is just extending beyond it.
So how much did you pay for the DLC? All 3 packs that you downloaded?
Let me do some math in my head.
$60 for the game.
Yeah, $60 for the game, and then, like, the DLC was between $5 to $10 a piece.
Okay, well, we'll just say an even 5. You know, so you spent $75.
Okay, yeah, I'll say 5.
So you spent 75 to 80, whatever, $85 on.
Yeah.
The price of a collector's edition.
Would you, you know, if they were to give you that entire package on a disc for $85, would you feel okay paying that?
Yes, because Mass Effect 2 is really good.
See, but you didn't
I've gotten more gameplay out of that over anything else.
There's a big difference though if you're looking at that number on the shelf when it says
yeah,
$59.99
for sure.
and it'll say, you know, $80. That's
But
Well, it's like you said, Chad, if it was a collector's edition and had all that, I would gladly pay it.
I just want to point out that Super Metroid was $80 when it came out in 1990.
That was a cartridge game. That's different. Yeah, and I can beat in 2.5 hours.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, $80, $70, $65 games, they are not, you know, they're out of the norm right now, but in the grand scheme of things, games have cost that in the past.
Yep.
yeah.
So,
But it really is. It's all about the norm, and everybody's
Of
used
course.
to, you know, new game, $60. So if that were to come out, I don't know.
And-
Another thing is you liked Mass Effect 2 so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got into it, so then you're like, I want more. You know, but if you don't know and you haven't played it yet, you know what I'm saying?
there you go.
Jared's just like, there's no way if it's this Mass Effect, I'm buying it. I see it in the face.
Well, if it was like, again, I'll go with the route if it was a collector's edition that had all the extra DLC, then it makes sense, but offering without should be done too.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. There's your DLC talk.
this week,
Another.
out at the end.
Yeah, I
there.
know. That really fizzled, didn't it? All right. It's time right now for the SideScroller News Desk.
It's music.
What a bizarre squawk. I was in the middle of that.
I sound like Iago from Aladdin. All right. Okay. Who here likes ice cream?
Oh, I do.
Doesn't.
Who here likes pee-pee? All right, let's go to Langhorne, Pennsylvania, where
God.
where police stopped an ice cream truck an ice cream truck driver who was drunk as hell. He was drunk as a skunk. They pulled him over, and guess what? They found in his refrigerator. That's right.
Urine ice cream?
They found, police say 46-year-old Yasir Hassan was visibly drunk when he was pulled over on Friday in Middletown Township, Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
What?
I'll come back to you in a second.
Okay.
All right, this may be an off-camera conversation.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right. Anyways, they found boxes of wine in the back, along with bottles of urine next to the ice cream that he was selling.
Oh yeah, dude. Because I mean, he's got to keep working. You know, so he wants to keep drinking, so it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, so you know, it's just kind of revitalizing. But I don't know. It's
Is his job truly that terrible that he needs to keep boxes of Franzia in the back of his ice cream truck?
Was it boxes or jugs?
boxes.
Yeah.
Which makes it
It's getting
that much
classy.
better.
So did he fashion a backpack? Because that's
Like
That's a
one
dream
of
of
those
mine.
runners backpacks that have like the thing that you could just a little tube. That
the
with straw.
camelbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It would ruin that. But I'm talking about somehow fashioning the box one into a backpack. I mean, that could.
I just imagine this poor kid.
That's
It's like the hat, but to
That's
the next
super
level.
classy.
Exactly.
All I can think of are the poor kids. Like how many kids ended up getting his yellow ice cream, and really, how many kids get lemon ice cream in the first place? But it's like, oh, my ice cream, mine tastes funny.
Yeah.
That's weird. Mine's delicious.
That's a horrible face.
That's kind of scary.
What happened when he gets pulled over though? Like, you know, the cop pulls him over and says, "What do you want?" Tries to sell the cop ice cream.
Well, he was obviously detained. I mean, they
Here you go, just made.
Yeah.
frozen fresh. All right, let's go to Gainesville, Georgia, where have you guys ever dialed 911?
No.
No, you guys have never dialed.
I have, yes.
What'd you dial it for?
We had a really weird guy come to the door with a fake flyer for fake security system, so I just kind of called to check it out.
Okay, yeah.
Give him a heads up.
I've called 911 several times in the past just to report accidents and things like that that I've seen. But if you guys ever dialed it on, well, you obviously haven't. Have you ever dialed it on an accident?
No.
Because apparently this happens quite a bit. Actually, my older brother, who is now 30-something years old, when he was a kid,
Tell me about this.
he dialed 911 and he called and he like changed his voice and he's like, "I am the master," or something like that. Like he was like 5 years old.
The master.
I don't know. And sure
Can we
enough,
reenact this? This dark kid. I am the master. Bring me ice cream.
this is like this
But not from
5-year-old
that
kid.
one guy that gets it all yellow.
So he's anyways, long story short, the police come and they tell my brothers.
We're looking for the master.
Anyway, yeah. So anyways, let's go back to Gainesville, Georgia, as opposed to Arlington, Texas. So this guy accidentally pocket dials 911 with his phone, right?
What awkward conversation.
Well, they're having a conversation about drugs on the other end.
Oh, yes!
Whoops.
They're at the Waffle House hanging out, and the...
Where all drug deals are done.
I think that's about 95% of them do happen at Waffle Houses, yes. But at the Waffle House, the actual guy working behind the counter is talking with a guy, and the guy working behind the counter actually pocket
dial
dials.
911.
And so the person on the other end says, okay, something's going on here. They trace the call. They head to Waffle House, and sure enough, they find this guy, the guy who was actually working at Waffle House, talking about this drug deal going down. Not like hardcore cocaine or anything, but still pretty not so good stuff with like pills and hydrocodone and other stuff that this 18-year-old kid was looking to get rid of. So yeah, he got pulled over and got detained. He was needlessly removed, he was removed from his shift at Waffle House and taken into custody.
Dude, our space phones are getting smart. It reports a crime like it knows there's a drug deal going down.
If it hears anything with the word drugs in it, space phone activate.
Yeah, exactly. It just dials 911.
All right, finally, let's go to Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. No Florida this week. Once again, I go strictly off the headlines. Sorry, guys. I know.
They're just lying in wait for something big.
Something big's
I'm
gonna
counting on
happen,
you,
yeah.
Florida.
I'm waiting for the week where it's all Florida all the time.
All right, so Louisville, Kentucky, where a Louisville woman faces first-degree disorderly conduct from a argument she had at
elderly woman?
No, just a lady.
Okay. Sorry.
She had an argument at Pizza Hut. Why would she be faced with first-degree disorderly conduct? What did she have on her possession?
Did she mace the pizza guy?
No.
Taser.
At Pizza Hut?
At Pizza Hut. What would she have?
She would have a Domino's receipt.
No. Think weapon.
Pizza cutter?
A weapon?
Think
Pizza
weapon.
slicer.
Think a little more medieval.
Oh, mace. Like an actual mace.
Close.
Ball and chain?
No,
Butcher,
she had a
flail.
sword. She just
okay.
had a sword with her, like at Pizza Hut.
Like sheathed on her back, ready for battle?
As a matter of fact,
I'm sorry, I prefer to cut my pizza with my sword.
well, you wonder. God, bust out. You just imagine before she gets her pizza, or like as her pizza's coming out, she pulls the master sword out of the rock and lifts it up and. According to a report,
The link dive.
she was causing trouble at Pizza Hut when police were called. When she arrived, she had her sword out, flailing around, and her brother took it and put it in the car. But she actually had it sheathed in the. She was actually pulling it out, which was kind of making people nervous because. But like, why would you be so upset at Pizza Hut of all places? Like, why would you get in arguments about your deep dish?
She's obviously not all there if she's carrying a sword around.
She kicks down the door. Forsooth, steel yourself, for my blade demands blood of your cretins.
And I'll have a medium with Canadian bacon, please. Anyway, so
help me if that Coke is not diet.
she looks like a fairly normal person just looking at her picture. I mean, she doesn't look like. The thing is, I guess the idea is when you think of somebody who carries around a sword, you don't really think her.
I was thinking total like Renaissance, like.
Yeah, we do see the picture from her neck up. We don't see what she's wearing from the neck down. So
Like
maybe,
a LARPer person.
Yeah, maybe she's wearing a full like chainmail.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly. She
Anyways.
looks pretty normal.
Like a badass.
All right, there you go. That is the news desk for this week. Sorry, Florida, we're coming for you next week.
Uh-oh.
All right, what do we got? We got foreign questions.
Yeah, you answered your own question.
Yes.
All right,
I don't
first
have my run sheet this week, so
It's all good.
my run sheet usually just tells me what's happening next.
This is from G1 Triforce Chaotic, who had a project in school.
And apparently wrote a paragraph.
He did.
Okay.
Because it's a school project, and I thought we could all go back to school here for a second.
Okay.
All right. You're president of a medium-sized, publicly traded computer gaming company. Your company's just bought a smaller game company that was developing 3 new games, so we're probably EA.
Okay.
One of the 3 games is complete and ready to ship and sell. However, its content is violent and demeaning to women. It would probably sell a very large number of copies and bring significant revenue to your company. You have to decide what to do with this game. A, give some options and arguments for and against each option, or B, which option will you choose and why?
I'd slap an M rating on it and make
And
a,
sell
make,
the
make
hell out
a
of
shit
it.
ton of money.
I think we can all agree we'd pretty much sell it.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a matter of fact, our next iPhone game will feature degrading towards women.
It's called
It's called bitch slap. I'm sorry, what are you gonna call it?
I was gonna call it beat and demean women, but I like that too. Bitch slap's
Bitch
a lot more
slap, the
catchy.
game?
Rolls off the
Yeah,
tongue.
we're just kidding.
Every time your phone will just start nagging you, and then you shake it and it just makes this slap.
Look,
Oh God, I'm sorry. This is
the truth is, there are a
You're
lot
getting
more
married
games.
in 2 weeks.
There are a lot more games that are far more demeaning to women, or really the human race, that whatever game that is will probably just look like be part of the pond, you know, and won't look any different to anyone else. So if it makes a crap ton of money, especially from a business standpoint, you gotta keep it afloat.
all three of us, like without flinch, we were just like, "Fuck the morals! How much money?" Like,
Well, let's be honest. If you're like really, if you're in the video game industry and you're developing games and you're looking to make a profitable, viable product
Yeah.
out there, guess what? There's probably something that's not moral in it. I'm sorry, it's true.
Okay, now that said, there may be a line
Most.
somewhere. Like if it's just like, you know, violence to women, you know, whatever, we separate real life. But if it's like Rape Sim
Yeah.
2011, teach how to rape and get away with it, then I might be kind of hesitant, you know?
EA is listening to this. We gotta cancel Rape Sim. Learn how to rape right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are games that.
Bonus points, no DNA evidence.
I'm not even. You know, I was gonna talk about how Super Mario Galaxy is a good game that has whatever. All right.
So let's move on.
Yeah.
What?
Mario Galaxy. There's no like.
There's no rape in it.
There's no moral. Yes, there's no moral quandaries, I guess, other than killing enemies. But whatever. Let's keep going.
On to a video question from G1 Quickman.
Hey there, ScrewAttack, G1 Quickman here, and I was just wondering what each of your most anticipated games of all time is or was. Thank you.
Well, quick man, I appreciate your filter you put on your video first and foremost. Thank you for that. Anticipated videos, guys, or anticipated games.
Of current or of the
No, it
past?
can be anything.
all time.
Like of all time, what is your most anticipated game? Like what was it or what is it?
Oh man, of all time? Jeez.
Recently, mine had to have been probably Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I know that just with the fighting renaissance that we're seeing right now, where fighting games are back in, there was such a dead period with fighting games, and they were kind of frowned upon in the video game world. And for me, just having between Street Fighter 4 and MVC 3 and Mortal Kombat, yeah, for me it's just been a really exciting time. But all time, probably just the release of the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the fighting scene's definitely blowing up. And just, I remember when I first started working here, I remember, you know, you're like, oh, I play Street Fighter Third Strike, you know, like, oh, me too. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we have to play, you know, because like you never run into somebody else that's like, oh, I play a bunch of Third Strike.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I've been trying to
thinking.
collect in my head. End of all time, Metal Gear Solid 4, just because I was a huge fan of that series and I wanted to see how it ended. Any of the Mass Effects 1, 2, and the upcoming 3. Uncharted 3, super excited for that one too.
Sure.
I think Smash Brothers, the original Smash Brothers for N64.
Dude, hell
Really?
yeah.
Got me so hyped for
It's that
that.
commercial.
Yeah, man, that commercial, that's the entire concept of every Nintendo character fighting against each other. I was like,
Yeah.
Blew your mind as a kid.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm still waiting for Conker's Bad Fur Day 2. That's the game that I will
never happened.
just.
Not-
I know.
not gonna happen,
I
dude,
know.
sorry.
Because Rare has it, but the day I will shell that money out immediately.
And you'll be the one.
Oh
who said-
no, it has a big following. Don't even. I love that
Those
game.
suck.
All right. Okay, what else?
Free both. McNilly, I guess his name is, wants to know what is the first online game you played?
Honestly, I think it was on the Xbox. I want to say it was NHL Hits 2003.
You're cool.
That
Dude,
is
that game
so
is-
random.
I know it is, but
I wouldn't expect that from you.
what, NHL Hits 2003?
Really, just NHL.
Well, here's the reason. It was just like
used to
it.
be cool, Jared.
No. It was like the NBA Jam
Yeah.
version of it, and it was
Right.
really, really fun. And I didn't have an Xbox at the time. It was my buddy's Xbox, and that's what he had. So I was playing it on there. So cool.
Chad.
I think for me it was Counter Strike. Maybe.
Yeah, there
Counter-Strike?
there were some PC
Maybe.
games.
I think I don't know. I'm sure I played something before that, but I guess the first like online game that I really got into was Counter Strike.
Mine was Warcraft 2: Tides of
Oh,
Darkness.
of course.
Using the dial-up where like someone would call my house.
Yep.
And I'd yell out to the rest of my family, "Don't pick it up!"
Yeah, yeah,
And then you
yeah.
click it so the computer answers it. Ryan's nodding his head. He knows what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
dude.
And then we play against each other online. So cool.
Yeah.
I did that for a lot of games. Warcraft 2, Age of Empires ended up being that one. Yeah, and then like the shooter markets. Like,
Right.
It's amazing to think that like my wife being a teacher, all these random facts are thrown out. Like this is the first class, or this next class or something is the first class that has had internet their entire life. So like, it's crazy to think about. But like, even today, I'm sure there's a lot of 12, 13, 11, 14, 15-year-old kids here. All they've known is high-speed internet. And it's,
dial-up.
Dude, that's so
Yes.
weird. I'm actually glad I didn't have the internet, man. Cause like, I'm already like I have like a
Me
low
too.
attention span just from all the, like I don't know, man. I would
I
be
had a
so bad.
28.8 BPS modem.
bingo!
If I had the internet my whole life, I would be so lazy. Like, I don't need to know anything.
Hello, audience.
I'm just saying.
All right, what
you go.
else?
Great, we'll end on that.
Yeah.
Sly at Night wants to know, just to ask, but when this episode of SideScrollers comes out, it will be my last week in high school. What were you whispering?
Huh?
I didn't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
I did.
It will be my last week in high school. Can you guys tell me what it was like your last week in high school? I hate you. Whatever you're saying.
What?
Last week of high school, I will tell you exactly what I did on my very last day of high school. I got my two closest friends. We went to my place. We played video games.
Awesome. Well, go ahead.
No, you.
No.
You're first.
I don't really remember.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm refraining too.
Yeah, no.
Stop it.
Dude, last
That'd
week
be
of high
weird.
school was awesome just because, like, the teachers knew. You know, they're like, we know you have no motivation. Because everybody's like, yeah, and like, then like, you know, the principals were trying to force us. They're like, they threatened us with, if you act up like the last week or whatever, you can't walk the stage for your graduation. And I was like, well, don't. So you guys just mail the diplomas? They're like, yeah, but you won't be able to walk the stage. And I'm just like, fuck yeah! I didn't even walk the stage at my graduation. I went skating. Me and a couple of friends. Yeah, straight up. Which is one of the reasons I'm having a wedding, because I kind of screwed my mom out of a lot of child
Whoops.
moments that
Yes.
she should have been a part of. But
And I don't, just think about that stuff. A lot of people like going in high school, they're like, I've given them 4 years of my life, and this is, I can do whatever I want. It's bigger than you guys. It really is. You have a family that might want to see you walk the stage and stuff, and so.
dude, yeah, back then I was like, I'm done. I'm out. And
I've given them 4 long years of my life. Well,
Well-
guess what? You're gonna be, I don't know.
my mom was like, you're gonna regret not walking the stage. And I have no regrets of not
Yeah.
walking the stage. The only regret I have, I guess, is just that I didn't do that for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For your parents and stuff.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now, there's a wedding instead of just me going to the courthouse, which is what we would have done.
Anyway.
Anybody pull any pranks or anything?
No. There's a lot of that. I think when I was graduating, it was like if you mess up, it wasn't, hey, you won't walk the stage. It was, hey, you won't graduate. Like, we're not going to send you the diploma at all.
Oh, great.
I didn't really do anything cool just because, kind of in the same boat
weren't?
that I wasn't cool, one. Two, like my parents were really looking forward to it and I didn't want to mess anything up for them, so I didn't
Yeah.
really.
One of my friends
way.
grabbed the fire extinguishers in the school and filled up the convertible of a kid he didn't like with the fire extinguisher.
Awesome.
Then, let's see, somebody else threw stink bombs into our assistant principal's office, which we didn't like. And my favorite was on the last day of our economics class. If you fell asleep in his class, he had a water bottle that he kept on ice and he would spray you on the neck, and it was horrible. So somebody went to like Sam's and bought just like a ton of those like little mini squirt guns, and it filled them all up and passed them out to everyone in the class. So when he started class, we just all like hosed him down.
That's pretty sweet.
It was
That
pretty
was
awesome.
pretty cool. Although we don't condone any of this.
Yeah,
and
my
we
bad.
We don't want you to do
I hope
any
you
of
weren't
this
looking for shit to do.
stuff. Yeah.
Somebody also released
Play it
chickens.
straight.
Okay.
Anyway. Now there's been a lot of birthday names going and stuff, but we had a surprising number of people send in pictures for birthday.
Sweet.
So let's do it.
I guess I
With
guess
them kicking a midget with a white baby
well,
or whatever.
one of those.
What?
One of those. I'll get that out of the way now
Photoshopped.
then. Here's the picture that was photoshopped. I knew somebody would, and it's by Tommy K.
Congratulations.
Okay.
He lived up to Jose's challenge. Everything else, first up, we've got Master Wayne, who is trying to eat his SNES controller. All right. SBW Rocks. It's a very, very dark picture, kind of hard to see everything, but there is Super Mario.
You can tell.
Hideous Gar stepped it up, and while everybody else was showing pictures of the game, he beat it. So, props
right.
to you, dude.
Just use an old save file. I'm on to you.
No, he's sitting right in front of it. All right.
It's legit.
Lassie Kankappa, my bad, man, has a ridiculously epic handlebar mustache.
We
Look at it
approve
in
of
all
that.
its glory. Oh my God, it's me, Herman, is looking pretty happy wearing a beanie. Should get a ScrewAttack beanie. I only have this guy's email. Bob-101 took a picture with his DS.
All right.
And let's see, we've got Donnie Michi, who apparently has made his own Mario World on Genesis.
Excellent.
I don't think that one's legit at all. But anyway, and then we've got Matt Green, who is holding up his TV and SNES with a controller in his mouth.
Very nice. So apparently, I made the challenge way too easy.
Oh God.
So, yes, Brian, you have something?
I want you to look at my camera when you say this.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you. Okay. So, Brian's camera, and everybody, your challenge for next week, if it is indeed your birthday. By the way, are they?
Yeah, these are all birthdays.
Are they just sending you like pictures? Because we don't know if that's really their birthday
No,
or
but
not.
now that you said that, that's gonna happen.
Well, no, I'm just saying that we're gonna double check you. So the challenge next week is for you. No, I'm not gonna do that. That could get us in trouble. I want
no.
I want you to have a Sega Dreamcast, fully clothed, covering your goods. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Please fully close. Please fully
You
close.
need to be fully clothed. If
All
there's-
these emails go to Craig at ScrewAttack.
No. They go to Chad at ScrewAttack. Chad's the guy who does the email.
Chad has to
see it
filter
first.
these.
Right here, standing up. I want it right here. It will cover your goods. All right, right there. Sega Dreamcast. Bam. Now here's the thing. If you're a girl, you can just be pretty. You don't need to have a Dreamcast. You can just.
What?
Craig doesn't want them to
Wait,
cover
listen.
their
We're
goods.
trying to bring the sex appeal into the show. All right, we need to broaden our audience. We need some girls here. How many of those were girls?
Touche.
Bingo. Exactly. So if you're a girl, just send your picture and you'll be happy. All right, there you go.
Also, don't forget you can post video questions in response to this video on SideScrollers if you would like to be featured for your video question.
There you go.
Do that, please.
All right. That is SideScrollers for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was the most entertaining 30 to, how many minutes we gone? Longer than 45 probably. It's been
Probably.
pretty long.
Congrats
Anyways,
on existence again.
yes, way to go. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you go and check out all the fun stuff we had on ScrewAttack.com this week if you were just watching us on YouTube. So much good stuff coming up on the way, as well as Jared playing the Game Genie Super Nintendo version. It's gonna be great.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, very good. So, yeah. Until next week, hey, I'm Stuttering Craig
I'm Chad.
And I'm Professional Jared.
for SideScrollers on ScrewAttack.com. Bye.
You know what I haven't done in a while?
Oh.